is very difficult to deal with. And somebody who is surprisingly good sometimes and surprisingly bad sometimes. Anxiety has got an enormous amount to do with it. Things are fine as long as they're not, if it's a rhythm, and they're expected, everything's fine. It's the unexpected he can't deal with, which is what he was so good at, which is what he did. You know, that crisis management was his thing. And that's still, brain is very rigid. So today we were going to church in the next door village, for which we need the car. And we came out to go to church, and he started walking up to our church because he hadn't, that's what we usually do. Very rigid, very inflexible. Yes, he can't do a dinner party anymore. My daughter says, because his peers were high-performing men, and still are, even though they're all 70, and they're chairman of this, and one's just been to Nepal and India for 2.5 weeks researching his book. And it's very difficult for him to deal with that. It's much better if I managed to persuade him not to try and run it. If he just chips in, and that's much better, which then gives him time to think, and he's beginning to be quite funny again. And a lot of what he says, if he keeps it, your thing, very short, is fine. The first sentence is always all right, and the second one is probably all right. But if he goes on, he loses the concentration, or loses the hang of it, really. Yes, but for the accident, he was. I think it was you who said he was a very bad person to have had the accident, because his whole life went on in his mind, in his brain, really. And he would have been chairman of things and president of things and run things, and that's what his retirement would have been, and he would have loved it. What he doesn't do is garden, except to destroy things. Cook, which men do. He doesn't do any of those sort of things. Make things. I mean, he'd written a book, I think, probably. Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he'll get better, which is, perhaps he will, I don't know. He's very good, very dignified, doesn't make a fuss. He gets fed up occasionally, but not very often. Surprisingly good.